Hello, and welcome to Young People's Report. I'm Shelby Johnson.
And I'm Hellebuyck. Today on YPR, we'll take you to a nursery rhyme theme park, show you an African dance class, and see how the post office works.
We'll also see how canoes are made and visit with some kids who are right at home in the water. But our first story has more to do with the type of playground we're in right now.
That's right. This playground was designed by local kids and built by local volunteers. To see how this process works, Samantha Wiens visited with some kids in Schwartz Creek.
If you got a bridge going from here to here, what's here and what's there? What?
These kids are designing a playground. In fact, meetings like this were held with kids around the Schwartz Creek area so that they can make their hopes and dreams part of the new playground in town.
They're listening to us instead of us listening to them. We get to be the boss.
The adults are older and they really don't know what's new and stuff.
The man responsible for turning the hundreds of ideas from kids into a plan for the community playground is John Dean.
Well, I had to first locate where all the trees are, and that's what these circles are on the drawing, are lots of trees, because I don't want to cut any trees down. So now I know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to run it around the trees. And then the next thing I do is I start to lay it out. So I just start thinking it together, and I start out with a real scribbly, kind of a sloppy drawing. I call it a sloppy copy, because it isn't done when you start. So you got to start real kind of like this. And I lay it out real lightly. And then as I keep going, it keeps getting a little better all the time. When kids believe in things, sometimes those things can come true. And so if I work with kids and I work with enough kids and they all believe that we can build the dragon, the parents will probably come out and help build it.
I think it makes it special because this is actually a playground that the kids get to design and the parents don't put the stuff that the kids don't like in it.
We get a chance to choose, and today they're making all the prints, and it gives the kids a chance to see what they're gonna plan when it's all done in the future.
The result of this effort will look something like this play area in Midland, which was also the result of meetings with kids. It will take until May of 1997 before construction will begin. In Schwartz Creek, I'm Samantha Wiens reporting for YPR.
The playground those kids designed has been built, and it's worth visiting. It's located just north of I-69 on Elms Road.
There are a lot of kids who want to be just like Tiger Woods, and one of the best ways to start is to get involved in a league. The largest junior golf association in the country is actually in Flint. Andrew Woolcock has our story.
Each summer, you can find almost 1,800 kids on the golf courses of Flint. They're all members of the Flint Junior Golf Association, the largest group of its type in the world.
It's a good program, and the kids can have some fun, and that was our major goal all along. Let kids be kids and let them have fun, hopefully learn a skill that they can use for a lifetime, because golf is a game for a lifetime. It's not like some of the other sports that baseball and football and basketball, finally they put those things aside and put them away. And golf's something that people play and well into their senior years.
On Mondays, the future PGA and LPGA golfers descend on 25 different courses to practice their game. But that's not all they learn.
I think it teaches them a lot of things. Patience, just in general how to act, and a lot of social values. They create a lot of friendships out here as well that last for years and years.
It's helped me. I've made friends in golf, and I've learned to compete better, and I've learned sportsmanship. I want to be like Greg Norman because he's a good golfer and I like him. Hope to go on the PGA Tour and win a lot of tournaments like the Masters, and then I want to be better than Jack Nicklaus.
While John may be the next Jack Nicklaus or Greg Norman, many of these kids are just out for the fun of it.
Kind of an effort. Okay, you can stop now.
I have lots of fun, and everybody says I'm pretty good at it, so
I like to do it.
I get a lot of calls at the first of the year. My son or daughter has never played golf before, and this is still the place for them to start. We have children of all abilities playing the game here. Many of them have never played before. We provide opportunities for them to get lessons, and we keep trying to improve that. And again, they're learning the game as they're playing, and that's basically how everybody learns. You learn by doing things and improving.
While the Buick Open may be a few years off for these kids, they're definitely on the right track. From the Swartz Creek Golf Course in Flint, I'm Andrew Woolcock reporting for YPR.
While the Flint Junior Golf Association is the largest, there are many others around the area, and the best way to get involved is to call your nearest golf course for information.
There's much more to come on YPR, but we have to take a break. Don't go away. Every year, millions of people head out to amusement parks all over the country. But there's a theme park right here in mid-Michigan that's worth a visit. Samantha Borin went to this park and filed this report.
Do you remember names like Old Mother Hubbard, Humpty Dumpty, and Jack and Jill? Well, they're all here at Deer Acres, along with their storybook friends in the form of life-size figures.
The idea was really my mother's. We started off with masonite figurines painted from a lady from church, and then Mom thought she could maybe carve them out of styrofoam, so she got a piece of styrofoam from Dow and started hand carving and really made them at home in the kitchen with just a kitchen paring knife and started whittling away. Back on the train ride, you got Peter Pan, Hiawatha, Tom Sawyer, Hansel and Gretel. Up in the park itself, you got Jack and Jill, Mother Hubbard, the old woman in the shoe with all her children. So there's a lot of different characters, about 60-some, I think, altogether.
The characters are not the only attraction here at the park. There is a picnic area, a gift shop, and rides.
Well, we've got 5 different rides, and then we have the moonwalk, which is for the little kids to bounce around in. We've got a train ride. We have a safari ride, we have an antique car ride, then we have the Ferris wheel and the merry-go-round. Back on the train ride, you've got Peter Pan, Hiawatha, Tom Sawyer, a lot of the figurines we talked about. It's all storybook as they go around on the train ride, and it's all narrated so the kids know what they are. If they look at them and aren't sure in the setting, then the narration tells them. Then on the safari ride, there's a live bear back there and a live buffalo. We have a lot of fiberglass figurines back there, and then we explain how they live and survive in the jungle. So it's sort of an educational ride along with a narrated, a fun type of a ride in the back.
Deer Acres is more than just a name. You can actually pet and feed real deer.
We have English deer, and they're the ones that you will see in their tan spotted. They keep their spots all the way through life. So we have the English. We have German, they are either all white or all black. With crossbreeding, they kind of end up being chocolate brown and all different colors. And then we also have Japanese deer, which are the Japanese Psycha deer. I believe we started with 55 this year, and I believe we have 16 baby fawns right now that were born this season.
You shouldn't have any trouble getting close to the deer. They're very friendly and anxious for a snack. Okay, give it there.
We have a llama, there's an alligator, we have monkeys, the kids love the monkeys. We even have the goldfish and the turtles in the front pond. It's just Mary Had a Little Lamb, Baa Black Sheep, so it's all done for nursery rhymes with nursery rhymes in mind. Barbados sheep, billy goats, gruff with the pygmy goats, so we have quite a few different varieties of animals. Well, the atmosphere of the park is definitely set up for children. That's what we look for, is to have the children be able to come in and just have a good time. There's not a lot of places today that you can take younger kids to, just let them go have a good time, and with the nursery rhymes and everything, the atmosphere is storybook and amusement yet with the rides, so that they can have a little bit of the fun with the rides along with the Mother Goose characters.
For a storybook day, come to Deer Acres, visit some old friends, and meet the animals. From Kincotting, I'm Samantha Borin, reporting for YPR.
Feeding the deer is fun, but do be careful. They'll eat the food right out of your hands before you get a chance to feed them.
When you're in a playground like this, you may want to stay a kid forever, but you have to grow up sometimes. It's not all that easy. We asked kids what the hardest thing about growing up was in our YPR question of the week.
I think the hardest part about growing up would be finding a good job and becoming rich, because it takes a lot of hard work and a good education.
Getting into a good college so you can get a good job.
Probably say learning how to drive because it's so complicating.
Moving away from your parents because you wouldn't get to see them very much at all.
Probably getting good grades and figuring out what college you're gonna go to.
Probably moving away from your friends and going to college.
Getting a master's degree because it takes a long time to get a good education.
I think the hardest part about growing up is trying to get a good education and getting into a good college because it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of time to do.
Moving to different schools a lot because it's hard to make new friends.
Trying to get into the University of Michigan because it's a really good school. Find what college you're going to, and to do that you would probably have to get good grades.
You have to get a good education to go to college and have a good job.
I think the hardest part about growing up is like when I'm in college, I won't get to see my family very much or my friends, and that sort of bothers me because I like to be around family and friends.
Probably getting a job because you have to get a good education.
I think going to school because you have to turn in all those assignments.
Probably that losing friends because sometimes it's hard to meet them.
I think it'd be being a parent because you'd have to work to support your children.
If you have a suggestion for question of the week or a story idea for YPR, drop us a line. The best way is to write us at Young People's Report, WEYI TV, P.O. Box 250, Clio, Michigan, 48420. You can also send us a fax or email us at weyi@aol.com. You never know, you may be our next story.
That's right, and there are lots of those stories still to come on YPR, but first we have to take this break. Do you ever pick up mail at your mailbox and wonder how all that stuff made it to your house? Kristen Harris did, and to find out, she headed over to the Saginaw Post Office where her question was answered for our camera too.
So you've written a letter, for example, to YPR. Now you need to mail it. Whether from a mailbox at home or from one on a street corner, it all goes to the same place, the post office.
Once at the post office, our letter joins the rest of the mail to be sorted. The first step takes place on this machine.
The employees all know this big purple device as Barney. On this, all of the large or odd-shaped mail is removed. Next, the mail is put in order. This machine makes sure all the stamps are facing the same direction. This is important because the next step is to cancel the stamp.
The advanced spacer canceller puts the mail in order, cancels the stamp, and then determines whether or not it's automation compatible. And what I mean by that is whether it can be processed by a machine or by a person.
After being canceled, our letter, along with the rest of the mail, moves on to be sorted. Our letter didn't have a computer barcode, but if it did, this machine would sort it by zip code for delivery. If the envelope has a typed address but no barcode, this machine actually reads the address and puts a barcode on the envelope. It is called an optical character reader, and not only does it read the zip code, it even checks to see if the address exists.
The optical character reader makes sure the street is in the city is in the state, and then it sprays on a barcode that corresponds with that information at a rate of 10 per second.
Since our envelope is now readable by a machine, a picture of the address is sent down to Louisville, Kentucky, where a person types it in and it is electronically sent back so a barcode can be put on it. From there, all the barcoded mail is sent to distribution centers, where the envelopes are sorted by delivery route and dropped off at their destination, like our mailbox in Clio. I'm Kristen Harris reporting for YPR.
So when you send your story ideas into YPR, now you know how it gets to the TV station. Lots of equipment and people working together.
Kids working together is the topic of our next story, Swimming Together. The Bay City YWCA is where Abbey Wojno found this group of talented kids.
2, 3, 4, side, 2, 3, 4, back.
A bunch of kids in the pool pretending to be dolphins hardly seems like it could be a sport. But it is, and it's a lot harder than it looks. Not only is this a sport, it's an Olympic event. It's called Synchronized swimming, and these kids are learning the fine art of water ballet.
These girls are fantastic. They're very enthusiastic, and they are very good swimmers.
It's fun. You get to meet a lot of different people, and you get to do a lot of different dances in the water. It's fun because you meet a lot of new friends, and you get good exercise, and it cools you off.
combines complex swimming skills and graceful movements set to music. These kids may make it look easy, but anyone involved knows better.
You can't just swim. You have to listen to the music at the right time, and you have to understand your moves and your strokes.
It's a lot of skill, a lot of strength, a lot of endurance, breathing skills, because a lot of it is done underwater, and you have to be very strong.
It relaxes you. It's fun to do. It teaches you to be self-respective. It makes you a better swimmer, and you have stronger legs and stronger arms.
It's like you feel really good because you're part of a team, and you get to learn different things and just have fun and go different places. But these girls are more than just a team. They're close, like sisters. In a way, we're like sisters because it's a specialized sport and not everyone knows it. And it's just like a family. For more information about synchronized swimming, call the YWCA in Bay City. I'm Abbey Wojno reporting for YPR.
While those kids are in Bay City, there are other groups, so call your local YWCA or YMCA for information on swimming programs in your area.
If you'd rather be on top of the water, there are a lot of rivers in Michigan where you can go canoeing. But our story starts before there's water involved, the making of a canoe. Ryan Engwis visited Sawyer Canoe and filed this report.
They glide through the water, but they are not fish. They are raced and ridden, but they have no motor. They are human-powered, and they say nothing paddles like a Sawyer. For the past 38 years, Sawyer Canoe in Oscoda has produced handmade racing and hobby canoes.
Oh, we have 21 different models of canoes for different people's uses. They use them from solo canoes, where, of course, you have just one seat and you sit in the center. Tandem canoes, we have whitewater canoes, flat water canoes, racing canoes.
While most people are used to aluminum canoes, these are very different.
The Sawyer brand are both lighter and stronger than a good hardened aluminum canoe. The Oscoda brand has about the same strength and weight of a good hardened aluminum canoe, but it'll function a lot better. It has a sharper entry line, it goes through the water with greater ease. Our canoes are made with fiberglass and also some of the new, more exotic materials, Kevlar, Spectra, carbon fiber, but most all of them are fiberglass. We start off with a shiny black mold first, and the canoes are built from the very outside in. The very outside of a white canoe, of course, is the white, and the white is a gel coat, which is a polyester plastic, and it's mixed automatically when it's sprayed in with a catalyst, and after it's sprayed in, it cures like cement. It is not a paint that dries. Then after it is cured, in the case of the Oscoda brand, we spray in chopped fiberglass and polyester resin with the pigment mixed in it already. And this constitutes 1/3 of the fiberglass in that canoe. The other 2/3 are woven fabric to give it much more strength. After the woven fabric is put in and wet out and squeegeed and all set, then the next step is when we pull the canoe from the mold after it's cured, we weigh them to make sure that they're within the specified weight, because nobody wants to get a canoe that's 20 pounds too heavy, and we certainly don't want to give away 20 pounds more material. From that point, it goes out into trim, and then on trim, they have the foam flotation that is put in bow and stern, both ends of the canoe. And then we put on the hardened aluminum gunnels, which is the rails that fit on the top of the canoe, the end caps, the seats, and then that's pretty much is it. Put the name on it, and then it's ready for delivery or pickup by the dealer or the customer.
The result of this process is one of the thousands of canoes they make each year. From Sawyer Canoe on the Scarborough River, I'm Ryan Engwis, reporting for YPR.
Fiberglass canoes are lighter, tougher, and easier to repair than metal canoes. And there are other materials that are even lighter that are used for racing canoes.
We have to take another break, but when we come back, we'll take you to a class where kids are dancing to a different beat. Don't go away. For almost every music group, the drums give the rhythm and the words talk to the audience. But some kids in Flint are learning to listen to the drums. That's right, the drums talk to the kids, and for these elementary school students, the result is dance. Carly Almasy has their story.
Rhythmic drums, unusual dances, colorful clothing, and foreign lyrics. These are scenes from a faraway land, right? Well, not exactly. We're in Flint at Anderson Elementary School, and these students are learning about traditional African culture.
They need to learn the difference of one's culture, you know, because I think that they have not been taught the correct things that they need to know.
I like the program because it was very educational and it told about African Americans. And when you go to school, you usually don't see that.
All music has one thing in common, a beat, and this music is no exception.
It's important that they know that the drums are not just a thing to beat on and, you know, to dance with.
They use the drums to communicate. Like today we have telephones, but back then when Swahili people was living, they used drums to talk to other tribes. The drum is telling you what to do, like when you dance.
Learning the words to the music was a small challenge. The words are spoken in Swahili, which means the kids had to learn a foreign language.
What language were you dancing to?
Swahili! I learned that Swahili is a language from the motherland. I learned how to say mama and dad, brother and sister in Swahili.
I hope that they remember the words that they learned in the translation in Swahili.
Once the music starts, dancing is the next step. But in African culture, dancing is much more than moving to the music. Each step, or series of steps, has a meaning.
The dance that we did for you was called a rhythm that was called Ikebo. And what this is a celebrational rhythm, carrying the feet around them when they touch their taco means whatever you do in life shall follow you. Okay, the crossing of the legs meant you can make a mistake in life, but you can correct it. So we want our children to know that they're liable to make mistakes, but they have a person that they can go to and ask to help them along the way.
Throughout the year, we've learned about different cultures in different countries, and this is just another addition to the many countries and cultures that we've learned about, and I hope that they remember what they learned and that they develop an appreciation for the dance that they learned.
What I hope these students would gain from this program is to know that they are well worth being who they are, because we come in all different shape, colors, and body, and they're just as important as anyone else.
And that is a message delivered very well by the drum. From Anderson Elementary School in Flint, I'm Carly Almasy reporting from YPR.
That was only one of the many classes of kids who have worked with African folk dancing. If you'd like more information, call the Museum of African American History in Flint. Their number is 233-5606. That's 233-5606.
We're just about out of time for this show, but we're going to leave you with some more folk dancing. Thanks for joining us.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.